Now, as the country continues to battle the ongoing power cuts, the former public protector and Stellenbosch University Law Trust Research Chair in Social Justice, Professor Thuli Madonsela, is calling for Eskom to consider buying solar panels and inverters and reselling them to the public to help us understand how this will help address the energy crisis. I'm joined by Professor Madonsela now. Prof, thank you so much for making time for us this afternoon. How do you think this would be done, having Eskom buy these solar panels and inverters and then reselling them to us? How would this help with our power crisis?
Greetings all, and thanks for the privilege. The bulk buying of solar panels, inverters and batteries would make sure that the acquisition costs are reduced, and therefore the resale costs or retail costs would also be reduced. Also feeling secure that the risk has been reduced because you're buying from a reputable company, that is Eskom. Currently, the rich can afford to buy directly from big companies, and when it comes to these things. And then some people are buying from very small traders. For example, I found that a big company was quoting 300,000, a small shop in Joburg was quoting 50. But I wasn't going to go with the 51 because of the risk that maybe, just maybe, what they're selling is not right. And therefore you're caught then, and in the end, I was paralyzed. If Eskom could do this, more people would opt for the private buying, and then there would be less pressure on the grid. And then people say, oh, only the rich can buy. Firstly, the rich are already buying. It's the middle class that you're trying to offload from the grid, or at least half offload them from the grid. And who knows? Eskom could even install to those who are in the lower economic classes in society, and then give it to them on a loan, and then they would pay.
Yeah. And Prof, we're going to try that again because it was cutting a little bit. You were talking about the cost element and how the middle class or the rich are already buying these solar panels. But at the end of the day, I mean, the cost element is still going to be the key driver, right? Even if these things are coming at some form of a reduced cost, they are still incredibly expensive for the majority of South Africans. So there's no guarantee that South Africans, these are going to fly off the shelves, even if it's Eskom that's selling them, given how financially squeezed South Africans are.
Yes, you are absolutely right. The truth is the rich buyers and then experiencing the troubles of buying from insecure retailers. So this is not suggesting that people should do what they're not doing. What is happening is already happening. It's just to make it less risky and to make it less costly. When it comes to financing, at the moment, people are taking loans to finance this. And Eskom could also provide loans.
All right, so that line is really disappointing as they're with Professor Thuli Madonsela, and she was just making a case of why she thinks that if you've got Eskom buying these solar panels and inverters and reselling them, that could be cheaper and that could somehow alleviate the pressure from our grid. Prof, we're going to try this just one last time. I think we got some of the point you were making about it's not just about the cost element, but the risk associated with purchasing these products. Do you think Eskom has the capacity, though, to diversify its offerings? I mean, it's still trying to unbundle the utility into those three divisions.
Well, Clement, we're an emergency. Eskom should have managers that can manage a poly-crisis situation. And this is with what we're having now. It currently has the capacity to deliver energy. What they have to do is divert some of their distribution people to think about acquisition and selling directly to people. For example, they're considering at this stage buying from those who have, buying back to Eskom and reselling to me and you. So they would have capacity to do that. What we're asking is they must invest in capacity to make it easier for everyone to be energy secure.
Prof, my last question is about that inquiry into Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhobane's fitness to hold office. I see that you and the other former Public Protector have been summoned to appear at that inquiry. Are you ready to appear? Have you responded?
You are not going to let that one slide, eh? Well, firstly, because we are law-abiding citizens, or at least because I'm a law-abiding citizen, I will go when subpoenaed. I don't understand why I'm being subpoenaed. I don't think I can add value beyond what the courts have said, and I don't think I have any information that the Office of the Public Protector does not have.
All right. Professor Thuli Madonsela, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.